So, Nate, as you might
Hello.
know, my background is in theater as an actor and a director, as well as a magician. So, I tend to think about magic in theatrical terms, in dramatic terms. And we're going to test your theatrical skills, okay?
Okay.
And you've had some theatrical experience, so I think you're going to be very good at this. I have
Okay.
some cards here, cue cards, that have common reactions to seeing magic printed on them. And what I'll need you to do is to act them out visually and vocally as if you were in an old timey melodrama, which means you can't just phone in your performance because phones weren't invented yet. Okay?
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, so here comes the first one.
All
Nicely done. Rick, I knew you would be good at this. Okay, now here comes the
right.
next
Got
one.
number. Ooh.
Ah, very good, very good. Now this one.
Ah.
Well done, well done. Okay, now try this one.
Huh?
Now, you just made an interesting acting choice because this could be huh with an exclamation point like you did, or it could be huh like you're pondering. But I like your
Huh.
choice. Okay,
Okay.
now here's another one.
Wow.
Okay, try that one again. Make me believe it.
Wow.
Okay, okay, I believe it.
Thank you.
Now, when I was a kid, this was my older sister's reaction to seeing magic. Mom, he's bugging me with magic.
Yeah.
Okay, now there's another one here. Nicely done. Thank you. Thank you. Which brings us back to excellent. Excellent. So, Nate, you did that very well, but now I have a question. Which of these best represents your reaction to seeing magic?
Huh.
The huh? Okay, okay, let me find it. This one, right?
Yes.
It's so amazing that you picked that one because before we even started this, I knew you would not pick this, and I knew you would not pick this,
Wow.
and not this, or this, or this. But this seemed to fit you perfectly.
Huh.
And that's the proper reaction to this. Thank you so
Bravo. Can I
much.
clap?
Thank you. Hi, I'm David Parr, and this is the tutorial for Q-Test. This is an idea that was in my notes for years, and during the pandemic lockdown, I finally decided to develop it into a workable routine so I could perform it in my virtual shows. And I performed it several times in my virtual shows, and now I am performing it in person. It's based on a routine that was published by Jim Steinmeier in his book Ensuing Impossibilities under the name of Cue Card Mentalism. What I wanted to accomplish with this was to come up with a method that was more surefire than the one in the book, something that would ensure the ideal ending to the routine. So I started casting about for a new method. And I remembered a routine that was published by Max Maven in the Linking Ring back in 2000. It was a routine called Whether or Not. And that routine used a method that was invented by Orville Meyer back in the 1930s for an effect called remote control improved. And that method provided exactly what I wanted. So, this is Q-Test. I have a packet of 7 cue cards, each of which is printed with a common reaction to seeing magic. Now, the audience is only aware of 6 of the cards. Here are the reactions. There's and ooh, and ah, and huh, and wow, and applause. And this is the card that the audience doesn't know about. It's a duplicate gasp card. Now, this card is different from the other 6 in that these 6 have the words "not this" printed on the back. Every single one of these says "not this." But this duplicate gasp card says "this" on the back with an exclamation point for emphasis. Now, this card is also different in that it is prepared with roughing stick. I take roughing stick and I apply it in an inch-wide strip. I drag the roughing stick right down the right edge of the card, overlapping with the letter P here. And then I drag it across the bottom edge of the card underneath the word gasp, all the way across, so there's an inch-wide strip of roughing there as well. And once I've prepared those 2 areas with rough stick, this is ready to go. The duplicate gasp card goes at the back of the packet like this. And now this packet is ready to go. So I select a volunteer and I explain that I need him to act out these cues visually and vocally. And I ask if he's ready, and then I show him the first cue and he gasps dramatically. I then use my right fingers to peel this card off the face of the packet and transfer it to the back. And now he says, ooh, and I peel that card off the face of the packet, transfer it to the back. He says, ah, transfer that one to the back. He says, huh, or huh. So then I transfer that, and he says, wow. And then I say, when I was a kid, this was my older sister's reaction to seeing magic. Mom, he's bugging me with magic. Then I say, let's do this next one with the entire audience. And I transfer this one to the back, and the whole audience bursts into applause. And I say, thank you. Which brings us back to, and he gasps. Now, unbeknownst to the audience, this is not the card they saw at the beginning. This is the duplicate gasp card with the roughing stick applied to it, right? So I then say, which of these best represents your reaction to seeing magic? And he tells me. Now, if he says gasp, if he gasps the cue on the face of the packet, here's what I do. I say, it's amazing that you picked that one. Because before we even started, and now I turn the packet around so the audience can see the back, I knew you would not pick this. I peel it off the face of the packet, and then I turn it around and flash the front of it like this before discarding it cue side down on the table. And I knew you would not pick this, and I flash the other side and discard it. And not this, and I flash the other side and discard it. And now I'm going to do the next 3 in quick succession without flashing the other side. Or this, or this, or this. Now, the reason I've done that is because that last card was the duplicate gasp card. Don't want the audience to see that. So that's why I do them in quick succession without flashing the other side. This, or this, or this. But this seemed to fit you perfectly. And now I flip this around so the audience can see the gasp side. And I have apparently predicted which card my volunteer would choose. So they start applauding. So what if my volunteer does not choose gasp? Well, here's what I do. Remember, we're at the point in the routine when the card on the face of the packet is the duplicate gasp card prepared with roughing here and here. So let's say he says, wow. And so I flip through the packet with my thumb like this until I find the wow card, and I use my thumb and forefinger to remove it and transfer it to the front of the packet. And I say, it's amazing that you picked that one. Because before we even started, and now I flip the packet around so the audience can see the back, I knew that you would not pick this. And I flashed the front of it and discarded on the table, cue side down. Now, I'm going to be able to flash all of the faces of these cards as I go. So, and I knew you would not pick this, and not this, or this, or this. Now, at this point, it looks like there's one card left, but it's actually two cards held as one. So I say, but this, and now I pinch the cards together along the right edge where the roughing is, and I transfer the cards as one to my right hand. The roughing keeps the cards from separating, so I can handle this as one card. So I say, this seemed to fit you perfectly, and now I grab it along the bottom edge where there is also roughing and turn it around so the wow side is facing the audience. And it looks like, again, I have predicted which card would be chosen. So now I can discard this, cue side down on the table, and the audience starts applauding. Well, that is Q Test. I hope you have fun with this. I've been having fun performing it in person now that I've returned to doing in-person shows. And I find it's a great way to open the show because it encourages the audience to become engaged and actively participate right from the get-go. And it also slyly coaches them in how to respond to the rest of my performance. You know, some people have never seen a live magic show, so they're not quite sure what's expected of them. They may think that being quiet is being polite, but I want them to react to the magic so that I know that I'm engaging them, that I'm connecting with them. So this is a way to just slyly coach them in how to react out loud to the rest of my show. So I hope you enjoy this, and I hope to see all of you again soon. Bye, bye, bye.